Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's having a wonderful week. It's Wednesday night. Um, I don't think I've created a video for the last few days, and I'm sort of trying to stay away from the gun debate because I wouldn't say that I'm torn between having guns and not having guns. Because I feel stronger about the fact that we are the leaders in this in our civilization. We actually fled Europe and the old continent because we wanted to have change. We don't want fascists. Like the people that are basically being um, kind of developed now. Um, the future career politicians that are basically morons, that you really don't want to have as people, that you want to pay a salary for with your taxes. Like, get a real job, okay? You aren't good at this. Get over it. Um, Either way, we are the leaders in what a brand new nation can um, uh, y- uh, spring forward. And that spring to actually, come forward from is is founded on very simple um, morals. We're trusting because we're trustworthy. We we can't allow trash to come in and say, you can't defend yourself, because we can't. People, when American people are very individualistic, we're hardworking people, we're creative, we are entrepreneurs, we are ever evolving, we are progressive by nature. We don't need a Democrat that takes money from special interests to tell us what progressiveness is. No, thank you. I know what progressiveness is. Okay. You're progressively backwards. That's what you are. Trying to tell people that they're, what progressive means. Okay. So, yeah, like the more you go forward, the more you like, you're just like going in that direction now. So go ahead with proceeding on that one, because nobody cares. Nobody really cares. Either way. So, um, all right. So I got an invitation to the People's Summit. This is the People's Summit for Democracy, which is going to be taking place June 8th, starting today, through June 10th. What is that, Friday? It's going to be taking place at Los Angeles Trade Tech College. Um, and so the content on this little flyer here is: in June, President Biden, CEOs, and politicians will be here to showcase LA and pitch their future vision to other countries' leaders. At the Summit of the Americas, showed the world how to not follow America for like the last 5 years. Or, like, you just told the rest of the world, like, if America ever has a good president that puts America's interests first, don't follow. Don't follow. But if dirty Democrats that take special interest are in control, then the Summit of the Americas. So bravo to AMLO. Thank you. I feel really good to be Mexican right now over that. Like, yes. Yes. That's how it's done, my friend. That is how it's done with these people. All right. So, um, yeah, It's really not the hard knocks life here, okay? Like we're not little orphans that are like, I bet they want, some people that misery loves company in the first place, okay? These people want other people to make the same bad decisions they make. And when other people resist, they are like stuck on stupid. You're stuck on stupid, okay? You're like stuck on that you're a horrible leader and you can't get over yourself. Nobody's gonna buy a 60,000 to $100,000 car that's gonna come with its own problems, whether it's oil or not. One way or the materials that are gonna have to be shipped from God knows where, probably China. And so right, like in the description of this video, I wanted to talk about the art of war, and I'm thinking, yeah, that sounds a lot like what's happening in America right now. And I'm thinking, I was right. No, I'm just kidding. I think that I'm right all the time. But in this case, I think I might be close to being right. You just never know, right? It's like it's always kind of like you can't prove it. It's kind of just like suspicion or that kind of thing. Just like I feel that, for example, the leader's tone, and I'm gonna give you an example. As a parent, I always thought, you know what, if I'm just gonna be a doormat to my kids are gonna get away with anything they want. Same concept, but now um, extrapolate that to a position of a chief or a wannabe chief in some cases, like, current times. Um, Wants to be like the leader of like the little Indians that need protection, and they want to be like like for the sake of of being in harmony and united. We know that that's like for our own survival at the end of the day. Well, for like I think that for my own survival, it's been more like, no, I'm not going to be censored. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go along with it. I'll speak out. And I'm not even going to try and be anybody's leader. I'm just going to say, like, you know what? You can do this too. And they can. And then I actually enable people to um, believe in themselves, to um, feel that they're safe to make mistakes, and still know that they have, like, some kind of like a net to fall, like a sort of like a net to catch them, um if they fall, and spring them right back up. So springing forward, this is what this country was supposed to be, and this is what everybody should. Everybody that lives here is nobody is like an owner of the and entrepreneurship of this country. Everybody has a piece of that pie, and they can take as much or as little as they want, depending on their own effort, their own energy. And still, those that you know are gonna um, the I'll rephrase it. Those that are more fortunate to have more energy, more skills, more ambition, do have a duty to to those that are possibly just in innocence, only really need support from other people. Like a lot of times I think, like, doctors, like, I don't want to be dependent on anybody, and that like extends to like doctors and like getting on medication and that sort of thing. But I appreciate that other people do like that attention and do like that, like that special consultation with an expert and telling them what needs to happen, and how this person can um, improve their health and increase their their life longevity and that sort of thing. So I wanted to talk about how we need to. make sure that while um, the wannabe leaders in charge are trying to teach the rest of us a lesson and twist our arms, that of course, it doesn't have to be like a um, childish, like it backfired on you out of spite, but it has to be more like it's just not going to work. And if it backfires, it's because you brought it on yourself and you're going to have to learn that lesson. And and that's okay. Really, it should be effortless. If eventually is they don't get the results that they want, they they dig themselves a hole, and then we don't have to get them out. Then they just stay there until they actually acknowledge and apologize for all the trouble that they've caused for the rest of us, with for not including us in the conversation as to what we um feel is in the best interest of everybody, like at large, and the community at large. um because these people are basically money hungry, power hungry people that take advantage of a situation. And it's unfortunate because we all have that temptation to, if we have power over somebody, to be push our boundaries. We become like kids. Well, this is what Nancy Pelosi is, for example, at this point. This is what Joe Biden is at this point. And that's going easy on them because they've made fortunes, or still in power now. And they're just like treating it like it's nothing, like treating it like, but nobody's doing anything about it. And it's true, because all I'm doing is actually at least voicing what I have to say about it. I mean, I didn't vote yesterday. I guess I should have, but there was nobody on the ballot that was really worthy. I don't know. I know things have to change, but these people steal anyway. I mean, they steal with with their computer programs. They do. We're becoming a worthless country, just like every other country, because I'm not blind, because I'm not in denial, because things have to change, and people have to have shame. People that are in a position to know this, they need to understand that people feel it, they know it, they can feel it in their bones. So so the lesson is going to be for for these wannabe classy people that don't use bad words like me. Okay, because I do. But the second thing I want to talk about is deception. So I want to talk about two topics: deception and opportunism. The so there's room for deception now. There's a lot of room. I mean, it's like like giving Satan like a pass. Like, here you go, Satan. Like, go and deceive as many people, because us here in power right now, we could care less. We're just gonna cater to all the like everybody, make them debilitated. Debilitated, put them on crutches, make them feel like they don't have uh hope in their future other than to always be like constant protesting. That is actually not what the First Amendment means. The First Amendment means is that you protest when people don't let you feel worthy of yourself. Not, protest doesn't mean like whining. It doesn't say a right to whine. It says right to protest. Like, there's nothing to protest when people are setting you up to be a failure, like Kamala Harris, for example, when she was trying to bail you out, and Chuck Schumer, like telling you to go and unleash your kraken on people, and and make sure they don't see what's coming. Well, you're sort of really obvious. You'd have to go through extreme measures to you know hide that from anybody, hide your trash, from anybody. So the opportunists are basically they're taking advantage of the fact that we have poor leadership, we have corrupt leadership, we have leadership that doesn't care about enforcing values, enforcing morals, sticking through, following through, and instead they want to encourage. They do the entire opposite. I'm going to let you do whatever you want because I want you to vote for me. I want stupid people to vote for me. Stupid people that can go and just get a gun and get away with it. That is what our current uh, the the messaging and the suggestion of their messages is being to people. So that's what I think is going on with the um I guess new onset of mass shootings, because I don't remember that being the case with Trump at all. Like, no, no, in the last 4 years. I don't even have to mention his name, really. I mean, why? Like, let's just kind of like get really serious about what our what President 45th did. President 45. He listened to all the hardworking people at the top departments of all of our institutions, and then just implemented it. That's all he did. That's all he did. He was like, "Oh, this is what we want to accomplish. Done. I agree. Let's do it." What's wrong with that? People that have in anything like a problem with that are jealous. They're envious, and they wish that they would have been the ones that did it. And they want to keep thinking that the only reason that they didn't accomplish it was for some other reason. Excusative. This is excusative. By the way, I'm reading a book. I learned a new word, excusative. Ooh, I sound so sophisticated. Okay, so yeah, again, kids take advantage of those whom they perceive they can get away with things the most, and this is what's happening. It's the same psychological idea. It just happens at a different scale, and at the same time, I feel that I'm sorry, call me cynical, but I feel that Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi just ride on the wave of these you know tragedies. They do. It makes them feel important, like they have their own psychological retardation where they are feeling like somehow they're needed. No, not really. No, you're just like it's like a vicious cycle between these mentally incapacitated people and like at the other extreme, mental incapacitated people. That's all it is. Like they're just and they and it's like a little vicious cycle. I don't know. I'm sort of like I kind of see things a little bit more geometrically. I'm very spatial, and so I kind of like fit a lot of different things in my mind. And call me a genius, but I think that this is what it is. And I feel that as soon as we get rid of this president, hopefully, if there's enough grounds for impeachment soon with the um, new Congress and new new House of Representatives, or Congress, and Senate representatives, whatever. Yeah, so hopefully there's grounds for that, and it happens a lot sooner, because I really do feel like I'm willing to bet my life that when we have somebody that is a more responsible person, a more um, considerate, conscientious person, back in office, and isn't like a shamed person that is still trying to save face, get away with, like, I kind of feel like if somebody were to step in and look through all their drawers in their office and files and all that sort, unless they're hiding it, which of course we know Hillary Clinton was at this point. So with that kind of example, except maybe she's the only one that was caught because she was more in the limelight of things at that time. But they would be put to shame. And of course, as they take out their attack dog lawyers and that kind of thing. So, and it just like it hurts the rest of us, like they're not interested. They're not public servants. They are in the service of themselves. They're, self-serving bastards. It's like they don't even have a mom or a dad. Like they forgot what it is to be a human. And all they do is suck the blood out of the rest of us. That's what they're doing. And I'm thinking, you know what, it doesn't bother me because I'm not used to having money. I'm not like ambitious in that way. I'm ambitious in like a commensurate way. Like if I'm giving something that's valuable, I'll take it. If I'm not going to take it. They're not giving anybody anything that's valuable. They are getting rich off of trades for companies that are basically failures. Like they're failures. They have like this great marketing, gloss over their brand, but all they do, it's like it's a cash cow. Is Greedy people are getting as much cash out, like Nancy Pelosi and her husband, and you know, I don't. I'm not the type of a Christian that wants to evangelize. Unfortunately, I'm more like I feel like the evangelization point of Christianity is like done. I don't know any young people. There are still some young people that are gifted, and I've come across a few that really do want to have like that spirit, but that is more, something that like another individual initiates. And there's really no initiation from people that I'm really like trying to reach with this message. I know that like for you either bought you either bought it or you didn't buy it. And Jesus was not, he's not for sale. He was never for sale to begin with. He's truth. Jesus is truth. Jesus is the reason we're still here now the way we are. He's allowed us to get this far in this uh cycle of life that's um outlined in the Bible, which is the is the 7,000 years. And make it as beautifully as we possibly can out of our own will, because we want to, because we believe in him, because we believe that he is the one that permitted this and made it possible for us to be as beautiful as we could, and we're not animals killing each other by now. But the second that this cycle is over, and we're not, and those who do believe in this fact, in this truth, are out of here, I don't feel sorry for you. Yeah, it's kind of like that's your nature. You know what I mean? It's in your nature, and that's you. I don't really care. Like I get up every morning and I try and I show up for people. And I knew this the whole time, even though people were trying to, suck me in and into their little like trashy life. I knew, like, man, it was so easy to give up at times. Like I had no reason to have any hope over nothing. Even inside that grain of mustard of faith that I held was just hanging by the threads in my mind. And I conquered it. And still today, you fight it because I know that I can't that there's good people out there, and that I can't hold good people, just like I don't want people to hold me to account for bad, evil people. I know that there's other good people out there too that don't want me to hold them responsible for anything that a bad person, a evil person does. and they're out there, and those are the people that I serve. Just like Jesus has said, take care of my sheep. If you love them, you're gonna be there. Not get jaded, not get down spirited and spited by anybody, and always show up for those that are going to have that in common with you, that are believers and love Jesus. So with that, I'm going to leave you all. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye. Excuse me.